nephew, guys. Sorry we're late. He had a problem. I was trying to help my nephew with a problem, being a good uncle. I was like 10 minutes before the show, and I still didn't have my picks in.
Thank you, Uncle Johnny.
Personal things together. Anyways, hey, how's everyone doing? How are we doing? Great. Doing great. My name is Johnny. My name is Johnny Barks, and to my left,
we got Bigert Sports Bryan. This is Bryan.
Bryan Bigert. I don't remember your alias now half the time. So
you just call me Bryan.
I respect you though. I just want to call you your preferred name. I don't want to dead name you at all. I would never want to do that. Let's start the theme.
Thank God it's Friday.
Cause it's Friday. You ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do.
Is it Friday already?
It's the weekend. Hooray!
Lighten up. It's Friday night. We find it's always better to fire people on a Friday.
Friday night, I'm thinking that we just might fly away to someplace they don't know who we are.
And I want to turn in your car. Welcome back, everyone. That was the theme song for Fridays. It's Friday.
Yeah.
Got the Red Bull on, so we're really getting crazy tonight. How you doing, Bryan? What's new in your world?
You know, it's been a busy week trying to figure out if I should do anything on my fantasy team or not. If I should just leave it alone, or if I should be making some moves. I'm trying not to panic, but essentially, you know, I'm in 3 leagues, and one.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
My best league is the one that's not paid. So it was just a fun, friendly league.
For fun.
And then middle of the pack is our league, Johnny. And then bottom of the pack is the one with Trey Watson and all those guys.
I thought you said that was a good one. You had a good draft.
I had a really good draft, but
injuries screwing you over.
No, it's like I had AJ Brown, so he got injured. So he was my main injury, but it's like I could walk through my team.
He'll be all right. He'll be back probably next week.
But yeah, no, it's not looking great over there. I have Laporta is my tight end, which he should be decent as the year goes on. Josh Allen, who had the really bad week last week just because they were up by so much.
Mm-hmm.
And I have him in every league.
He has like the third lowest, third fewest passing attempts in the league right now, Josh Allen,
right.
Which is crazy.
Because he doesn't need to throw it. Like he truly does.
It's just weird how both games have went the past 2 weeks. So.
Yeah. And then I had Ramondre Stevenson, who last week was good. This Thursday, which is a good transition, he had 0.3 points on the day. Not great. Not feeling
nice for your opponent.
That. Yes.
And for someone who might want to trade for Ramondre Stevenson. But that's not my league. I have a weird team. I mean, we don't have to just talk about our teams. I could pull it up here. But I was very uneasy about my draft. I didn't feel very good about it. But some of my moves I thought were my worst moves ended up being possibly better moves. Prime example is Brian Robinson. Let me show this right here. So Nico, I knew that was such a great pick. I was so proud of myself when Nico fell, and I got him. I just swooped him right up. That's right here. Devontae, I mean, I drafted him I think we talked about this last week. I drafted him over Achane, which is like a huge L in my book. When I went against all my draft guide, it was just like, and it was draft jitters. Okay, it was still the 3rd round, and I was feeling whatever I was drinking earlier, and I just made a bad decision. You make your bad decisions in the worst mindsets. He's playing the Panthers, so he should be fine this week. But
right,
Brian Robinson. I panicked because I needed like a 3rd running back, and drafted him like the 8th or 9th round. I want to say it was like it felt way too early, and I was like, man, did I just like panic pick a running back? And he's been really freaking solid. He got 18 carries last week. I feel really good about Brian Robinson. Everyone's like, I keep seeing videos, people like, buy Brian Robinson cheap, buy him cheap. I'm like, yeah, I am holding on to this guy. We'll see. We'll see. I feel your pain though, because it's like My team is good right now. Like they're just having a really good week, and then I have pretty good matchups again this week. It's not going to be like that forever, though. So you kind of it's almost like a poker thing. You want to hold, or do you want to kind of raise the stakes a bit, or kind of try to cash in a bit? It's
double down.
A lot of decision making. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, and the I mean, your most impressive pick at this point has been Jordan Mason, and people were kind of.
I was surprised because I picked him up like we had an early draft. It was like the beginning of September, or August almost. It was like the first or second weekend of August. It was way early.
Right.
And so they were, murmurings about whatever you want to mummerings about CMC's injury and his knee. And I'm like, that just doesn't sound great. You never really trust CMC. And even a backup to CMC is like worth a roster spot, you think, even if he's not, if he's fully healthy. So that was kind of my logic there. And I just liked him, like the idea of the trends. I was really just following trends. And then I dropped him for someone else. And then I was like, man, whatever. And then I saw again, there was more murmurings about CMC's
I had that
me going into week 1. And I'm like, okay, no one's going to pick Mason up right now. Is nothing wrong. So I just picked him up. He was just free to take. And yeah, I guess a little early on it. I paid off very nice. I didn't get to start week 1, but hey, you got it last week. And we'll keep
Kel says hi in the chat, by the way.
How you doing, Kel? How's it going? Good to see you here. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Always good to see a good member of Bill's Mafia.
There's some mummerings that we have a voicemail.
And we have a voicemail. Why don't you go ahead and play it? I'll put I forgot to load the thing on the screen. Go ahead and play the voicemail, though.
Oh, goodness. Ron T is here, too. I'm going to pull this up. Sorry.
What's up, guys? How we all doing?
This is a really funny voicemail based on the text I'm seeing. Okay. I don't want to spoil it, though.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Detective Johnson from Granite City Police Department. I have a complaint here from the Cinnabon manager. I need you to stop visiting the Cinnabons nearest you, and their corporate office wants to ban you as well. If you would go ahead and give me a call.
Not true. That's not true. I know them. They wouldn't do that. No, you're lying. You're not even a police officer. Well, I guarantee he's not even a real cop.
The detective, John.
No, he's fake. He's a fake.
And their corporate office wants to ban you as well. If you would go ahead and give me a call back at 1-800-GET-BONED-PACKERS fans. Bye-bye.
Whoa.
See, that's how I know he's not a real cop, too. That's very unprofessional.
I love it.
Unprofessional. What's going on, guys? Good to see y'all. No, we are not monetized here. Don't worry about it. Just we just appreciate y'all joining the stream.
Yeah.
No need. No, my friends, I don't even need to call them bosses. My friends, Mr. Perna and Tagrassi, pay me very handsomely. I'm very happy. In a very nice position. I feel very grateful. I didn't sub for my personal channel. Oh, we'll take it. We'll take all the subs we can get. Good to see you guys. Good to see y'all. Just curious, you made any major excavator bucket purchases right now? I have not. I was thinking about buying a recliner.
That's a reference to I think a tweet I put out or a.
Okay, I didn't get the reference.
Something I sent Ron directly, just about how Temu will sell weird stuff. Like you'll see like commercials for Temu about.
I've never used Temu. I've heard not good things about it, so it doesn't.
I've used it once to try it out, and I got a pair of sunglasses and some like food containers and a hose for my backyard. All of them are working fine. The sunglasses are kind of goofy. They're more like blue light glasses, like for computers. Is that what those are called? Blue light glasses? But yeah, Christian says he used it once and got a phone charger and it still works.
How we doing, Laura? Good to see you. Nice,
right.
Nice. Yeah, I think that's the perfect thing for it. For like a phone charger or something low risk.
Right.
Talk to you what stuff I could do a little more. I appreciate that. No worries, man. You're not obligated to anything. I really appreciate the thoughts. Though.
Really, what would benefit us is calling in, asking some questions that gives us content. Or
Bryan just really wants people to talk to at night. Honestly, he just really wants. That phone goes to his cell phone, so he just really wants some more.
It's like
content.
a Google phone number, so I collect it all on my Gmail. But it's just fun to have content for it because if you have fantasy questions, somebody posted.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was assuming someone posted it somewhere. I appreciate you. We got some nice views in here. Jeremy, good to see you.
Yeah, Timo is
spyware. Yeah, I don't trust it. I don't trust anything.
Yeah,
I barely trust Amazon.
Hey,
they took 2 dang months to give me my dang refund. I had to talk to 2 different customer support people. It was fucking ridiculous. Freaking ridiculous. Sorry. No, you don't need to call it. It's all good, brother.
All right, then just donate money, I guess. I'm just kidding. No, but cool. So
save it for next charity stream and Tom's next Chaotic Good Sports. That's how you guys can repay me. Let's get into what are we doing first here? We're doing
the meat and potatoes of the show.
It's been on there it's been on the screen for a minute now. So, what about potatoes?
No, well, you're a potato because I'm about to stump you
into
the ground like a potato.
I prefer them mashed, and I like them like buttered and boiled. Is really good, like underrated. Kind of just like leave a little bit of the water in there and get it a little bit mushy.
Wow.
Just put like too much butter in it, like too much butter and salt.
Not
good for the heart, but it's good for the stomach.
I love poorly mashed potatoes, but if I'm talking about if we're talking favorite potato forms, it's waffle fries. Those are my
waffle fries are very underrated. I feel like they're not. You don't see them everywhere. They're harder to find. They're one of the more rare kinds of fries.
Right. Well, this next segment is called Stump Johnny. We did it a lot last year. I think we did like 3 times last year, and then maybe once the year before. And every time I see the slide, I'm like, oh, it's a funny slide. I want to do a segment on that, and then I always forget to. But this week I didn't. This week on Stump Johnny, we were talking about, or I saw this tweet about Alabama quarterbacks and how they're in a weird situation right now compared to last year with injuries and getting benched and all that stuff. So I wanted to do this segment where I wanted to quiz you, Johnny, to see what I wanted to see how many colleges you could name that have at least 3 quarterbacks in the NFL right now, active roster quarterbacks. So backups are obviously included in that. And you could take, take some time to Google it on your computer to cheat. No, no.
Well, you already said Alabama, right? I mean, that's kind of a given.
Alabama's the biggest one. They technically have 3 because Jalen Hurts didn't graduate from there.
I'm blanking, man. I'm totally blanking out. Oklahoma, maybe?
Oklahoma.
Hurts, Baker, and then someone else I know.
Yep.
LSU, there's got to be one more LSU guy, right? Because you got Burrow, Jaden Daniels. There's not a third one.
LSU does have another one, and I'm blanking on who the other one is, but they have 2. But Oklahoma was one of them, so they have Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray, and Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, Kyler, duh. I knew that.
Yeah. So we have Oklahoma, Alabama. We have another voicemail, by the way. Think of another O school.
Not Ohio State, right?
No. Close. They have 2.
Not Oklahoma. We just said Oklahoma. Not Oklahoma State. I'm blanking.
Think of a recent draft. This most recent draft. Who is a highly touted draft pick from Oregon? Oh shit! I just said
it. No, Justin Herbert, Bo Nix, and then I don't know, man. I'm bad at this.
Marcus Mariota.
Yeah. He's still in the league. Yeah.
So Oregon, Oklahoma, Alabama. Here's the crazy thing: there are
UCLA. I'm trying to think.
2, 3, 4 other colleges with 3 quarterbacks in the NFL starting rosters or active rosters.
Georgia?
Nope. So Georgia used to, but one of their one of their guys got cut, so they're down to 2.
Wouldn't be South Carolina. I'm just trying to think. Not Wisconsin. Not like Indiana.
Russ counts for 3 different quarterbacks because he's got multiple personalities.
NC State, Wisconsin, and yeah. I'm trying to think. West. Utah. Shout out Jordan Love.
Utah. So here's one.
Texas. Not
Texas
has had a quarterback in a while, haven't they?
They have one in the NFL, and it's what's his name? Texas. Who is that guy? This is what, by the way, when we do Stump Johnny, this is what happens every time, which is why I realize why we don't do it. Because we just sit here and think.
That's just not a very entertaining thing. I feel like it needs
yeah. Let's ask the chat. If anybody knows of another school with 3 or more quarterbacks in active rosters.
Rain Prescott School yet? Mississippi State? I don't think he doesn't have many. I don't think. Like Oklahoma, it's like the obvious ones I can only think of. I mean, I couldn't even think of Oregon.
Okay,
Clemson,
North Dakota. I'll give you one that's random. North Dakota State University has 3 quarterbacks in the NFL, all backups, but they're very notable.
Who's the third? Because obviously Carson Wentz and Trey Lance. Who's the third?
Easton Stick.
Is he real? I didn't realize that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know he was from North Dakota State. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I love the smaller schools getting credit.
The Chargers.
SIU broke the streak that they had. It was like 26 or 29 straight games, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Given Trey Lance didn't play that game because of COVID, and he was like about to get drafted, he was like, "Yeah, I'm going to be the number whatever overall pick no matter what, so I'm not going to get hurt,
right,
or get COVID from being around the locker room."
Let's see.
Yeah, I had no idea. I guess I'm a casual. Damn.
This is one that I knew, but I didn't know. I didn't know they had 3. I thought they only had 2. North Carolina.
Mitch and Drake May, and then I think Jacoby went to North Carolina too, didn't he?
No, Sam Howell went to North Carolina.
Oh yeah, duh. Where'd Jacoby Brissett go to?
He go to Gamecocks, South Carolina.
He went to NC State.
NC State. And then here's a fun one too. Houston. University of Houston.
Oh wow. Yeah, they pass a lot, don't they?
Yeah. Kyle Allen, Case Keenum, Clayton Tune.
A lot of mid.
A lot of mid there. A lot of mid in that.
That's being generous to call it mid.
Yeah.
I mean, good in college, I'm sure. Absolutely.
Right. But we have one more out of all that list.
I said Clemson. Is that not one?
No. Clemson has
just Deshaun and Trevor?
2. Yep. One more.
It's an obscure one, isn't it?
Not really. It's an SEC team.
SEC? Goddamn. Not Arkansas?
Nope. Nope.
I'm trying to
I
think.
just want to fact check here.
I said not Missouri.
No.
Texas A&M, duh, right?
No. Not Louisville.
Auburn.
And this is, by the way, this is all updated as of like 3 days ago. Whenever Huntley was signed to the Dolphins is when I updated it. But
he was on I guess it's active roster, right?
Yeah.
Because he went to Utah.
Not Louisville, Christian. It's one of those not great football teams, SEC.
Ole Miss?
Nope.
I named every single one now. Vanderbilt?
You haven't said Tennessee?
Oh, wow.
Tennessee.
No, because Joe Milton's on the practice squad.
Yeah. Well, no.
They still have 3?
Joe Milton is still – is he on the practice squad now?
Yeah. Okay, he didn't make the team. They put him on the practice squad, I'm pretty sure.
Did that just happen?
Or maybe – no, I'm mistaken.
I thought he was like 4th or 3rd.
No, you think you are right. They put –
yeah, I think he's on the active roster now. Patriots depth chart. He is. I think he's 3rd, actually. Or maybe let's see. He's 3rd. Yeah.
Okay, I'm mistaken.
So Joe Milton, Hendon Hooker.
Yeah, I knew him. And then
the Lions, and the big one, big boy, the Pastronaut.
Josh Dobbs.
Yep, he went to Tennessee. I was like, because I got into this rabbit hole on the internet of where do you can hear my son yelling right now. He's freaking out. I got into this weird rabbit hole on the internet about where, like, what schools are quarterback heavy schools in the NFL, or that sends a lot of quarterbacks to the NFL. And it surprised me the weird schools that are just like huge. And I always thought like USC, Stanford, like
I mean, they kind of used to,
yeah. I was always under the mindset of like the early 2010s down back through like the 80s. Like I was thinking of those schools and a lot of like Big Ten schools. Bonus: Nathan Peterman is Atlanta's PS, and he did play for Tennessee.
Yeah, 5 Points did a video about Peterman. That's a pretty good video.
So if Peterman ever gets activated, then Tennessee would have the most, technically the most quarterbacks in the NFL right now and on an active roster. But they're tied right now. Alabama is just third because Jalen Hurts doesn't count for them. But you could count Jalen Hurts, honestly. But yeah, fun little Stump Johnny.
It was fun. That's fun. You want to go to our next message here?
Yeah, I got another message here. Looks pretty good. Nothing too inappropriate.
Hey guys, go what you're doing. So I got a good one for you. So Kenneth Walker's out. He's doubtful right now. So I got a flex position. So these are my two options. I got Zamir White against Carolina or J.K. Dobbins against Pittsburgh. So Zamir White against Carolina obviously is a solid one because Panthers are bad, but he hasn't done anything. Meanwhile, Dobbins has done pretty well, but he's going against the Steelers with the guys like T.J. Watt on the team. So I'd really like to get your guys' input on that. Appreciate what you guys do, and have a good day.
That's a good question, and
that's a very good one. Yeah,
and that's
tough actually. I'm kind of split. I kind of would. I like to ride the hot hand until I'm disproven. Honestly, Dobbins has produced the past 2 weeks, and Zamir White hasn't. I know the matchups kind of you want to outsmart yourself almost, but I would say just roll with Dobbins.
Yeah, I think the professionals would say Dobbins.
I mean, it's Zamir White like might do that because like if the Panthers, get up, or not the Panthers, if the Raiders get up to a good lead to the Panthers, then they could just be running the ball the whole second half. So like I get it, it's a tough one, but like if I'm like a question like that, I'll just ride with my gut and just ride with a hot hand, I guess. But it's tough because eventually Dobbins is going to put up 4 points in one of these weeks. That's what you're always afraid of, like
right. Well, here's the other thing. Zamir White and the Raiders, and this goes into my sleeper pick, by the way, for the running back position, but I'm not putting Zamir White. I'm not picking Zamir White. Zamir White and the Raiders are playing the Panthers, who are horrible. The Raiders are going to be playing ahead probably most of this game. The Raiders are a really good team, and playing the Panthers at home, like I'm not really super worried about that. So I think they're going to be handing the ball off a lot. And I think they're just going to be, it's going to be Madison and Zamir just tandem, screen passes, handoffs. Like I think it's just going to be a lot of rushing attempts, which makes me lean towards Zamir White for the situation. But J.K. Dobbins is obviously the more talented back, but he is playing the harder defense, and there's more options for let's look up what's the Steelers defense rating against running backs on fantasy in particular. We could look that up. Because they've played, who have they played so far? They've played
so that's Carolina's a third, and then for Dobbins
we can look this up.
26. So it's like opposite. That's what I'm saying. it's a legit decision, but Dobbins just looks so explosive, and I know it's against, the Raiders and the Panthers again, but shoot,
Right.
it's that's a tough one, man. I mean, you're not in a terrible position because you can make a great argument for both, but it's just when it just feels like one of them is gonna explode, one of them's not. It's always feels like you're gonna pick the wrong one, but
Bijan, let's look at what Bijan put up against. Bijan put up 16 points against.
This is half PPR, by the way.
Yeah, 16 points against the Steelers. He had 18 rushing attempts for 68 yards and 5 receptions for 43 yards. Which for Bijan, honestly, like that's holding him back a little bit. So yeah, no,
Dobbins doesn't have the receiving potential too. So I mean, you could be looking at just this, 68 yards. So that's like basically 7 points. That's a little bit we have like a first down bonus for ours, for our league.
Right.
So I don't know how many first downs that is, but I get it. I get the nervous.
But didn't the Chargers play the Panthers last week? Was it?
Yeah.
And so Dobbins got to go ham against the Panthers. Now I'm saying it's Zamir White's turn to go ham. I'm gonna lean towards Zamir White.
See, I think there's not a wrong answer.
Yeah, I think both have their. I think Zamir White has the higher ceiling. I think J.K. Dobbins has the higher floor.
That's a good. See, he's projected to get 9.4, and Josh Dobbs. J.K. Dobbins is projected to get. I mean, that doesn't mean much, I guess, but
yeah.
Sometimes I go with projections if I'm split too, but that's
right.
I would also go check the betting lines. Look at the over-unders here. I could check it real quick on Underdog, but the books are more right than not. They know what they're doing. It seems like a lot of times, which is weird, and it feels weird. So Dobbins, hold on. J.K. Dobbins is projected. Okay, they don't have results yet for Dobbins. Looks like that's weird. I don't know. I don't understand the system, but just check the betting lines if you're on the apps. If not, then
Pittsburgh technically is
go with your gut.
Pittsburgh is the 26th hardest team to rush against, meaning they're the 6th hardest team to rush against in the NFL. Carolina is the 3rd easiest team to rush against in the NFL.
All right, you want to get into our sleepers? If you got some more injuries or some more issues you want to sort out, here we go. We got some good people that should be on your waiver wires. Oh, this is a fail for Bryan. Can we all give a moment of silence for Bryan's hopes and dreams for this pick'em? He was 1 reception away.
I was 1 reception away from getting that parlay. It was
and Braylon Allen stole it from him.
Yep. Man, and they were Rodgers was throwing it to him, throwing it in the second to last drive of the game.
Yeah, but they just had Breece Hall protecting, the Patriots were still blitzing. And,
right.
Yeah, it was weird.
So
I don't know. It was dumb that they even had him in, him and Rodgers. Those are the 2 people I feel like you're concerned about. That your season. I mean, Garrett Wilson too, the big 3, I guess.
Yeah,
the trio there.
I thought for sure I had it though. Man,
he was very close, man. He was very close because you had 3 or 4 in the first half. So
yeah, I mean, Garrett Wilson and Aaron Rodgers, I think, got theirs pretty quickly. And Breece Hall had 3 receptions in the first half, and he got his 4th one in the 3rd quarter.
Tragic.
And Ramondre Stevens obviously wasn't doing anything, so
would have been a 10 timer.
Yeah,
but
it's okay.
When you lose, you get over it.
I think I'm down $40 this year so far, 45 total. But I've only been doing these pick'em, so
not a great strategy if you're trying to stay ahead.
Right. I'm not, and I don't think I can do just betting lines.
Colin had a lot of surprisingly good luck last year.
Yeah,
I think he actually made a profit last year on his, but they give him funds, so it's profit regardless. Let's go to our sleepers. So
we do have a score update. So
boom. Wait, that would be better. Not as green as I thought it'd be, but the Blues are good. The Blues are good.
A lot of blues for Johnny this week. Deshaun Watson did about as good as what he was projected, so I put he's good. It wasn't awesome, but it was all right for what he was doing. Derek Carr obviously went off again. I don't think you're allowed to pick Derek Carr again this year.
He was available in the way like it was.
I
even said it. I was like, this isn't a deep cut,
right.
But if he's there, then take him because it's a fluke. I was kind of right. So
were they playing the Panthers at home week 1?
Yes.
So it could have very easily been a fluke. People obviously didn't want to pick up Derek Carr just because of that week 1.
He was still available at least like 40% or 50% of the league. So.
Right. But you were right with the rolling with him again week 2. I understand, I would, that's the safest bet. You talk about like I said, highest floor.
Right. I hate it when you bench your better players because of matchups and it just doesn't matter. And I'm like, I just feel stupid because I just outsmart myself.
Right.
So in that, that's what I hate more. I don't mind giving J.K. Dobbins a chance, and if he doesn't do great, and Zamir does crazy, I mean, I guess it's a little kick yourself in the butt, but I don't know. You start a better player, but it's for your flex position. That's a pretty good problem to have, as I'm saying. I think they should do really well.
Exactly. And then as you can see, a couple reds for each of us. I don't know why I did Van Jefferson. I just had a feeling, and it was stupid. Tristan Judd says, "What up, Johnny?
What up, Tristan? How's it going, man? How are we doing? Good to see you in here. Thanks for hitting that play button on the algorithm, and hit that like button and subscribe and do the things. I don't actually care that much. It's whatever, guys. These are fun. Not trying to grow anything crazy here. Yeah. You see the scores. Let's just get on to the next.
The totals. So our totals last year, you can see the scoring breakdown. You get -3 for a bad pick. And those are subjective, like how we grade them. But Johnny and I typically agree every time if it's like how we.
It's like them. If it's under like more than a couple points than their projection, it's like an and then if it's like half or less,
like a 0 to 5 point week. If you're like you
can pretty much just grade. Like it's pretty agreeable. It's not that.
Yeah. We get in sort of a gray area with the and the good columns, like they sort of blend together, but
we have gotten into it a couple times over that, but it's not a big deal. I'm not concerned. I'm winning.
So last year I won pretty handedly, but right now I'm starting from behind.
Okay, pretty it was not pretty handedly.
It was very handedly.
No. It was
there were mummerings
until the very end. No, I had a rough couple weeks because you made fun of me because I picked, I don't remember who it was now, but you were like, oh, that's a sleeper now. I think it was like Baker Mayfield or something like that again. Yeah. And you're like making fun. I was like, okay, we'll go more deeper cuts. And they just didn't do so well. And you judged me for it. And now we're acting like I'm bad at fantasy football. I am bad at fantasy football.
To clarify, to qualify as a sleeper, we've agreed that it has to be 50% or lower in Yahoo Fantasy. Yeah. So that's sort of what we agreed upon. And we confirmed that today in our So and there are mummerings that Johnny was, gonna be cheating again this year.
I'm not cheating.
But he's been pretty good.
How did I even cheat? Whatever.
Malcolm Kuntz is out for the season.
Thoughts and prayers. Sorry to hear that.
T's and P's. So let's get into our picks for this week. We don't do Thursday Night Football because of scheduling issues, but
I swear to God, I probably would have had Tyler Conklin as my tight end.
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
I feel like he got a lot. Maybe he didn't, but I feel like he was getting a decent amount of targets. He just didn't give me any completions of the last couple weeks. But had 90-some yards this week. Would have been a very good. Would have been at least a green.
Right.
At least the blue, I should say. Probably a green though. All right, you got Sam Darnold. Tell us about Mr. Sammy Darnold.
Yeah, so part of this is just because he's been really solid this year. And the other part is he's going to be playing the Texans, which you'd think, okay, he's playing the Texans. They're a good defense. They're good against the Bears. But when they played against the Colts, Anthony Richardson, I believe, had 3 or 4 passes over 40 yards. So, and which is Sam Darnold's situation in Minnesota is he needs to be throwing the deep ball to be more productive. So I think Sam Darnold is one of those sleeper picks where people are not going to pick him up because he's playing the Texans. But the only reason, the Texans, I put here, the Texans have given up the 4th most fantasy points to QBs this year, and that's including playing Caleb Williams last week.
Wow.
So they can't defend the deep ball very well, and that's the situation that Sam Darnold's in. They have a better offensive line than the Bears, and I think Sam Darnold's going to go off. So
he's going to go off? I'm trying to look for something. Hold on, I'm sorry.
You're looking for a Sam Darnold meme? A nice
Something
little
like
clip?
No, I'm looking for something I made in Winners and Losers. Keep talking about Sam Darnold, please.
Sam Darnold. Did you see that? Did you see that meme today of NFC? Try and match the NFC quarterbacks. Did you see that one?
Oh, I didn't.
It's pretty funny. I'm gonna try and see if I can pull it up. If not, it's no big deal. I thought you sent that one. No, that would have been a Daniel thing to send.
Hold on, I found it. Hold on, I gotta see it myself though. It's not on this computer. Gotta hop through computers. Pardon us, folks. This is worth it. I promise. I promise it's worth it.
We're gonna try and let's try and wrap up before the Illinois-Nebraska game, Johnny.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm
7.
doing.
Yeah, no, I was just
15 minutes. That's what my nephew was calling about. He was trying to figure out how to watch it.
Well, you go to streameast.com.
Well, Stream East is not safe for
I know
11-year-olds, man. Like,
Too many
I don't know.
pop-ups.
I was warning my brother. I was like, make sure you have an ad block. Like,
Yeah.
it's just sketchy, weird things. Okay, I got this.
All
I
right,
got
let's see it. See what you got here, Johnny.
it.
Johnny?
Let
Oh,
me-
we haven't played your theme song yet.
We'll play it at the beginning, at the end,
At the end, we'll play it again.
as theme songs should be played, right? Hold on. I'm sorry, my laptop's being so weird. Okay. Stop screen. Present. Share screen. Here we go.
Oh
Here we
boy,
go.
I'm so nervous.
Oh, I'm screwing it up. Almost there. Where did the tab go? Sam Darnold Mahomes.
That was it. No, that's funny. That's a good little thing you made there, Johnny.
No, it's stupid. I get it. It wasn't worth it. It wasn't I'm adding it. to
It's
it.
just name recognition. You're like, oh, Sam Darnold. I did something with Sam Darnold recently.
No, I mean, I knew. I thought it was funny. And it just took me a minute to find it. And I was already, you know how it goes.
You know what would have been really funny if you would have just like shared your screen and it was that picture of Sam Darnold zoomed in to his face. That would have made it like 2% funnier.
2% funnier.
Yeah.
Like milk. It would have made milk
It
funnier.
would have been milk funnier. And you had Gardner Minshew for your pick.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. We're staying on subject. I had Gardner Minshew. As we just discussed, the Raiders are playing the Panthers. So this bodes well for Gardner Minshew. But as I also said, this could be an issue because they could like blow him out in the first half. I think Andy Dalton will keep it close and they will keep passing through the second half. They won't be mounting a comeback like they did against the Ravens. You wouldn't think. But I still think that this Raiders offense isn't as bad as we think, and their line looks okay. And they held up last week. Let's see if they can do it again and get some tutties for Devontae.
T's and P's.
Panthers. That's all you gotta know. They're playing the Panthers. That's the logic here. That's all. That's what it is. All right.
A lot of it is. And
I got P Ryan. P Ryan. P Ryan the Phenom. That didn't sound as good as I thought.
Perrine.
Samaje Magic, baby. So the Chiefs just signed Kareem Hunt. If you didn't see that, I'm sure you guys did.
Yep.
But it looks like he's not going to play this weekend yet. Andy Reid said he's not ready. He needs more time. He's not ready. So I think they're going to throw a lot more like this. This Chiefs offense runs a lot through Pacheco. That's why I drafted him in like the second round of my fantasy draft. RIP for the next foreseeable weeks. But I think P. Ryan, along with Carson Steele, Carson Steele's going to get the carries, but P. Ryan is like the dump off guy. I think we saw McKinnon last year go for some crazy. He had some crazy weeks last year, if you recall. So I think that is like almost a ceiling. I think he has a higher floor because of the offense this week. I forget who they're playing, the Falcons, and it's on prime time. Mahomes always shines in prime time. They always win in prime time. He always throws at least 2 touchdowns in prime time. Maybe one of them's to P. Ryan. I know Kelsey and Rice are probably better options than Worthy, but I think if you need a running back and you're in a deeper league, he's probably there in the waiver wire for you. That's my sell.
Yeah. A same situation where Alexander Madison with Zamir White, we were just talking about. I think Alexander Madison gets the edge just based on who's getting targets and touches, and who's been more successful. Alexander Madison had a really good first week. Last week was but again, facing the Panthers, we just target the Panthers whenever a team's playing them, and if it's like a mid team, they probably have some, bench, or they probably have some free agents that you could pick up. So I think Andy Dalton will come in and make this a competitive game, but I don't think the defense will be fixed by Andy Dalton. Like the issues with the defense won't be fixed with Andy Dalton, obviously. So
you're right.
So I think the running backs will get a lot of touches. I give the edge to Alexander Madison, who is rostered in 32% of the leagues, Yahoo leagues. Yeah. So technically a sleeper.
I don't. I'll be straight with you. I don't like it. I don't like it for you.
I think Samaje Perine a dumb pick too. Then
I think you're dumb. We'll see how it goes.
You have red hair.
You're not dumb.
Next, wide receivers.
I just don't think Madison's a very good player. I mean, he's going to get opportunities this week. You're not wrong, but
yeah. Curtis Samuel. I think he was my week 1 wide receiver pick, and then I bounced over to Van Jefferson for some reason, and I'm bouncing back to Curtis Samuel.
You're just going Bills receivers, aren't you?
Well, yes. No, Van Jefferson was a stupid pick by me last week, but I just couldn't think of anybody. I also had Greg Dortch, and I picked Greg Dortch at the same time. And
as a tight end.
If you remember, I picked him accidentally as the tight end. But no, Curtis Samuel, the Bills are not really passing at all right now, but I think it's because they haven't had to. And I think this is one of those weeks where we're going to see Keon Coleman and Curtis Samuel get a little bit more fantasy value. I don't know. I just like Curtis Samuel. He's like one of those gadget players like Cordero Patterson or Terry Cohen. Just like one of those weird players that if you just give him the ball, he'll do some crazy things with it.
Yeah, no, I don't hate it. I like it. I think he's going to blow up one week and then he's going to be like a top waiver target. I feel it. I know it. Yeah. Maybe not this week. We'll see. I had Mr. Adam Thielen, Mr. Minnesota, now Mr. South Carolina. I guess, are they in North Carolina? They're in North Carolina. I'm dumb. Adam Thielen, as I said, I think Andy Dalton can hold it together with this offense, and I think as a veteran, he's going to want to go to a veteran receiver. And if you saw it in practice, I don't know if someone like recorded it. I don't know what their protocol is over there. If it was Packers, they'd be freaking out because it'd be a code red situation. But they were recording some of their practice plays, and they were doing like jet sweeps with Adam Thielen, and someone was roasting him for it. Like, this is why Bryce Young sucks. Like, this is what they're doing. But obviously, they still think highly of Thielen as a playmaker. I don't know if that's just like I don't know if I don't think
a lot of targets,
but it doesn't like you would think Deontay Johnson would be that guy, right? Because he's like more shifty and fast,
right?
But yeah, I mean Thielen, I think he's going to get. We saw what he did last year. Probably no one wants him. Like he probably got dropped from like every team in every league. He's probably 0% rostered because he's on the Panthers. Just kidding. But no, I think he could have a decent week, and like he's a good red zone target too.
Right. Think about who Andy Dalton will need a safety net for this first game starting,
That's
And
what
he
I'm
knows-
saying. Yeah.
Yeah, and Adam Thielen and him are two very, reputable veterans that he probably will lean on him a lot, and he'll get a lot of targets. Not a ton of yards, but a lot of targets.
I might put I don't like to bet a ton of like player yard overs because I'm just like freaking out the whole time. But I might put like an over on his yardage this week. So I think I'm really feeling Adam Thielen. I'm feeling the feeling, Brian.
Thielen. I'm
I'm
gonna do
feeling
that
the
right now,
feeling.
actually.
Hooked on a Thielen. Let's go to the tight ends. I got Brenton Strange. You're probably wondering who the fuck is that? Brenton Strange is a Jaguar. You see him on his jersey right there. He is a Jacksonville Jaguar, number 85. As we heard last week, Evan Ingram got hurt in pregame warm-ups, unfortunately.
Mhm.
Kind of a bizarre incident. It's very unfortunate for him. Doug Peterson said he's going to be out at least one more week, it seems like. So that means Brenton Strange is the guy.
Next man up.
As far as tight end, please stand up, Brenton Strange. I think he had 6 targets, 4 catches, and like 50 yards last week. Considering he wasn't expected to like play very many snaps, I'm sure. He just kind of stepped right up and had an okay game.
And he's
I don't
probably
mind him as a
available in a
flex
lot
receiver,
of.
and like that's what everyone else is doing at receivers, like 4 receptions, 50 yards. That's like a top 5 tight end.
Right.
I said receiver, tight end, I should say. But yeah, I mean, I think this is a solid pick. I just added him to my team. If you saw, I don't think it scrolled down far enough earlier.
I saw a notification that you added him. I was like,
I'm doing.
he's
I'll talk to you off air because I don't want anyone to. I mean, I guess you could probably assume what I'm doing. If you it's a strategy. I realized how brilliant that Mike used, and I'm like, oh, there's 4 Monday Night Football games this week. There's 2 Monday Night Football games this week. This is a perfect weekend to execute the strategy, and I needed the extra roster spot, so I'm doing it.
leaving spots open on your roster.
Yeah, and then you can drop someone Sunday night after you see what happened. And so if Carson Steele does duty for me, I don't mind keeping him.
Right.
But if he explodes, I still have him on my team.
There you go.
Kind of reveal my strategy there, kind of show my ass. But maybe they're not. I don't think they're watching.
The one thing is, not a lot of people are confident with dropping people on their bench. So that's the one thing that Mike will leave a lot of people on his bench that he's okay with dropping.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like those, he's okay with that. I'm too afraid to do any of that. I'm
being a little risky. I just don't like. I mean, I feel like I'm wasting my fab dollars because I didn't realize even Kittle was hurt until like later this week almost.
Right.
And it looks like he's not going to go, so I needed a tight end. So, and I just picked up Christian Watson, which is like I'm investing in that because I think that'll pay off long term. Not now, obviously, but it's tough. I mean, I'm glad I have the IR spot, but that's my own personal problem. It's better problems to have. My team is doing great right now. Might not be great the whole year, but I feel good about my team right now.
So Adam Thielen's by the way, I put Juwan Johnson. We can do quick. Juwan Johnson.
He got a touchdown week 1. Saints offense is if it's still explosive, it's a good.
It's him and Taysom Hill at tight end, and it's really just Juwan Johnson at tight end.
They're just like running him out of Wildcat still. Like they don't really have a plan for Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill just needs to be put in the tight end position categorically, but he's just a random athlete on the team.
He's a random athlete. Best way to describe that.
But I think Juwan Johnson will have some success. I hear.
We got 2 minutes till this game. Let's get our fee and deep picks and then get out of here. I got the Colts defense versus the Bears. This is a big week. This is the turning point for honestly the Colts defense and for the Bears offense because both these units have struggled mightily the first 2 games. The Colts defense gave up 200 some yards to the Packers, 256 rushing yards or something like that.
Disrespectful,
John. The first half, Brian, to the Packers. The Bears have been terrible on the ground because their offensive line has just not provided any kind of leeway for DeAndre Swift. So I think this is a big week for Swift. If you have Swift, I'd start him just to take a chance because if he's going to have a big week, it's going to be this week. And if the Colts can come through and get their together as a defense, this is going to be their week for them. So I think I could see both ways. I could see both happening. Obviously, as a Packer fan, I love seeing the Bears miserable and fail to succeed. but I could see them finally turning gears this offense because this is what happened last year. If you remember, week 2, very bad for the Bears. Buccaneers game, fucking terrible pick six by Justin Fields. They threw it, basically just threw him right in the end zone, right to him. And then week 3, they came out barking back. So I think that might happen again this year. We'll see what happens. I hope it doesn't because I don't want you to have any confidence. I love seeing you very doubtful in Caleb Williams. It's calling me after the game like needing some therapy. I love talking to you like that.
I just have so much confidence in Caleb. It's more I have no confidence in our offensive line. And I don't, and also Matt, it's really the offensive line and Matt Eberflus are the lack of confidence there. I'm okay with Shane Waldron. I'm okay with Caleb Williams' talent and the wide receiver talent he has surrounding him. It's just it's truly Matt Eberflus is kind of a dingus, and our offensive line is just deteriorating into nothing. And Ryan Poles did nothing about it with the draft. So, but anyways, I just have the Cardinals defense. This is a very unique pick, but I have the Cardinals defense against the Lions. The Lions are struggling with some injuries on their offense in terms of their offensive weapons. And then I think the Cardinals are they're a good defense too. Hi, Theo.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, where's mommy?
We're almost done.
I don't know. But anyways, Jake Bates a kicker.
Braden Arvison a kicker. I think the Packers will be able to move the ball a little bit, but they're going to have trouble getting in the end zone against this Titans defense. I think they get quite a few field goals. That's been the trend this year overall. This lack of passing game has been leading to a lot of field goals. People not finishing the job. So kickers are leading the league in points.
We have some quick inappropriate fantasy names. You can just scroll through them. Pukaki, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Crashy Rice, 1 too many concussions. These are very taboo, but I just threw them on there just to put them on.
You got to check with me before. I wasn't ready for that. Honestly, that wasn't too bad. I'm not upset with that. All right, man.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
All right, man. Thank you guys for watching. Let's play this intro to leave us out. Let me find it. Where is it at? Where's the song?
And I woke up ready, man. I got a call right after I got dressed. They was coming to pick me up at 9:30 in the morning. I told them I'm gonna be ready.
I like the Johnny Barks Show!
All around badass. That's who Johnny Barks is.
Johnny Barks, shout out to Johnny Barks. They crushed it with the editing.
Came in here shooting. I mean, I saw his ass walk in here, get a camera on. I had a camera on me as soon as you guys walked in here. I was like, all right, this dude is on it.
What do you mean Barks has a fight?
Johnny?
What do you mean Barks has a fight?
Johnny?
What do you mean Barks?
All right, guys, we appreciate you watching. Make sure you hit that sub button. Come back next week. We're here every Friday night now. Have a wonderful night and enjoy your evening.
Bye.
I'm Johnny.